Welcome back to Blooming in Brisbane. We're in Virginia and chat to Murray, a plant collector with a passion for subtropical gardening. About your garden, and what's the name of the garden?
It's called Nafuana. Nafuana is a metaphor for a hidden paradise, and quite often when people arrive here they come up the side and say things like, well, I had no idea this was here, because from the road you can't see it. And it's designed to lead people around to the back and around to the side, so that and there's all kinds of curved pathways to take people by surprise, so that they come in and say, wow, look at that, or words to that effect. Maybe not.
How long have you had the garden for? When did it begin?
25 years ago it started. There's been some major changes since, because no garden really stays the same. You know, it's not a static thing. The section here is the newest because the house was extended. Originally there was just a driveway up the side, a shed at the back, and lawn and a grapefruit tree. So it's all changed over the years.
Was there a plan? Did you have a plan drawn, or was it just something that you created?
Not really. I suppose if I had have done a proper plan it would be different. But no, it sort of just grew, you know. The cliche of the hidden rooms, you know, it was a series of rooms. Well, that's what I've been after, and I think it works. And I think it increases the sense of space in the place. The property is only 809 square metres, so it's not a very large property. By today's standards it probably is, but and it gives a sense of space and distance, and I've achieved that by straight paths up the side and then curved paths to other features. I've got quite a lot of water features, from an old concrete tub which is just sitting beyond us where we're situated here, to some beautiful white Vietnamese pots to your right, and some other ones around there. They're planted with lotus, various types of lotus, and then around the side there is the lily pool, which has the stone sculptures at the end, which are actually fountains.
So tell us about this beautiful plant here.
Well, there's two varieties of orchids here. This one is a hybrid. It's a Cattleya hybrid, and this one is a species Cattleya. I think it's Percivalliana, but I wouldn't be sure of that. There's no name tag on it when I bought it. They flower quite beautifully on the trees here, particularly frangipani trees. They absolutely love those. This one has survived the possums this year for the last 3 years. The spike takes about 3 months to grow, and it gets to the stage where the buds appear and those lovely little animals eat them. Much to my displeasure, but they've got to live, I suppose.
So how do you tie the orchids to the tree?
I use a piece of old stocking which I cut up with a pair of scissors and tie in a slip knot and wrap it around and keep them relatively tight. Sometimes you can put a bit of coconut fibre underneath, but that would depend on how often you water. Sphagnum moss in my garden is not a good idea because it stays too wet. But normally they'll just take on, you know, they'll just attach themselves.
Yeah, do you fertilise them here?
Occasionally. I'm pretty slack fertiliser really. I should really do more, but I'd probably have better flowers. I do fertilise, but not as, you know, not as consistently as I should probably. Perfume, lovely. This one has a lovely perfume. Some orchids have beautiful perfume, some stink.
So tell us about this area and these plants here.
I have quite a collection of anthuriums. These are mostly grown, they're only grown for their leaves, unlike their cousins with those beautiful red waxy bracts. The flowers on these are quite boring, but it's the leaves that are really interesting. They're called bird's nest anthuriums, and they grow in the ground, and I suppose they're designed to catch all the leaf litter.
Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for this evening, but join us on Facebook for more information and to just join in the conversation. Now next week we've got another great episode where Noel Burdett pops by and also Gillian Coombe, and I myself am on the hunt for a new garden. Thank you and good evening.